Moving on to this. America's balance sheet, it's out of whack and headed the wrong way. For the first time since World War II, publicly held debt is now bigger than the entire U.S. economy, hitting 100.2% of GDP. And Washington, well, still spending like there's no tab coming, with a projected $1.9 trillion deficit this year alone. Joining us now is Exit Wealth Advisors President Ted Jenkin. Ted, nice to see you. I got to tell you, those numbers sound bad on their face, but you're saying it's even worse than they sound. What do you mean?
Well, good to see you, Brian. And I think this is like a check engine warning light on your car. When you look at the fiscal budget that we put together in the United States after Social Security and Medicare, we are now spending more than $1 trillion on our own debt in terms of interest. That's higher than the defense budget. So just think about that for a second. It's kind of a problem when you spend more money on interest than you do on the defense of your own country. This is the highest we've seen this ratio in some 80 years. We've never gotten higher than 106%. So I wouldn't say it's critical yet, but it's certainly the warning light is on the car.
You know, I had a car once with a warning light on, the check engine light. I drove it for a long time. Okay, I'm not saying that was good. I just did that. But here's the question I guess I have then. So we've got this problem. It wasn't that long ago we tried DOGE. We tried to do this thing to take some of the expense out of the federal government to get on top of it. You know, we got a little bit done there, Ted, but we didn't get a lot. That felt like the biggest push I'd ever seen in my lifetime to try to get a rein on spending. If that didn't work, are we just out of luck? How do you get out from under this?
Well, I wish I had an unlimited credit card that I could use in perpetuity, but it just isn't going to work that way. I think three things have to happen at one time. Number one, we do have a revenue problem. Remember that 84% of our revenue comes from personal income tax and payroll tax. So we have to solve that, which solves part of what happens in Social Security. We still need to be fiscally conscious when we look at our budget and what we're spending every year. And then hopefully the policies that President Trump has put into place right now will take effect, and we'll be able to grow GDP even faster. All three of those have to happen in unison to get this in check. But albeit together, 100% debt to GDP ratio isn't inherently a massive problem yet.
You know, you said we had a revenue problem. Maybe that's true. I tend to disagree with that characterization. I mean, I think the federal government is collecting north of $5 trillion in tax revenue every year. That's a heck of a lot of money. It seems like we're providing an awful lot of money for this government to run, but maybe to your limited credit card point, nobody there seems to want to live within that. Do you think the answer is taxing people more? Because I would argue that's not good for our economy.
No, I don't think it's in the personal income tax, which is what a lot of people talk about. We are going to have to deal with Social Security tax over time because Medicare and Social Security are our two biggest expenses. But if you think about the numbers that you just brought up, the main problem right now is we have more than $1 trillion of interest payments. And that's going to increase every year, especially at the interest rates that we're at today. So we're going to have to look at how we cut expenses over time. I know a lot of people don't want to do that. But if your household has $500,000 of credit card debt, there is no human way to out-revenue yourself out of that debt. So we will have to look at cutting expenses.
You know, the president had pretty high hopes that tariff revenue could be part of helping to plug that gap. Obviously, the Supreme Court had other ideas. We're now having to refund that tariff revenue. Maybe we'll make it back with the replacement tariffs. But do you think that's a viable strategy for getting on top of the fact that we're running these huge deficits every year?
I don't think tariff revenue will solve the problem entirely. I mean, it certainly helps the cause. It's the same as trying to raise corporate tax rates back to 35%. That's not going to solve the problem either. If you really look at the revenue in this country, almost all of it comes in two buckets. Personal income tax, and the problem is, Brian, 40% of Americans pay no tax at all. The top 10% pay 71% of the tax, which is a real problem. Pay your fair share. At 71%, you're probably paying your fair share. So it's really in those buckets of payroll taxes and personal income taxes. That's where the money's going to come from.
Yep, I agree with you on that one. The fair share mantra rings very hollow to me when you quote the numbers you just quoted. Ted Jenkin, great stuff. Good to see you. Thanks for being with us today.
Yeah, thanks, Brian.